the room. She showed no surprise at seeing Hilton. "Hi, Chief," she said. "It must be something both big and tough to have you and Teddy both on it." "You're so right. It was very big and very tough. But it's solved, darling, so." "Darling?" she gasped, almost inaudibly, both hands flying to her throat. Her eyes flashed toward the other woman. "Teddy knows all about us. Accessory before, during, and after the fact." "Darling!" This time the word was a shriek. She extended both arms and started forward. Hilton did not bother to maneuver his big, husky carcass around the desk, but simply hurled it straight toward her. Temple Bells was a tall, lithe-strong woman, and all the power of her arms and torso went into the ensuing effort to crack Hilton's ribs. Those ribs, however, were highly capable structural members, and furthermore, they were protected by thick slabs of hard muscle. And fortunately, he was not trying to fracture her ribs. His pressures were distributed much more widely. He was, according to promise, doing his very best to flatten her whole resilient body out flat. And as they stood there, locked together in sheerest ecstasy, Theodora Blake began openly and unashamedly to cry. It was Temple who first came up for air. She wriggled loose from one of his arms, felt of her hair, and gazed unseeingly into her mirror. "That was wonderful, sweetheart," she said, then shakily. "And I can never thank you enough, Teddy. But we can't do this very often, can we?" The addendum fairly begged for contradiction. "Not too often, I'm afraid," Hilton said, and Theodora agreed. "Well," the man said somewhat later, "I'll leave you two ladies to your knitting, or whatever. After a couple of short ones for the road, that is." "Not looking like that," Teddy said sharply. "Hold still and we'll clean you up." Then, as both girls went to work, "If anybody ever sees you coming out of this office looking like that," she went on darkly, "and Bill finds out about it, he'll think it's my lipstick smeared all over you, and I'll strangle you to death with my bare hands." "And that was supposed to be kiss-proof lipstick, too," Temple said seriously, although her whole face glowed and her eyes danced. "You know, I'll never believe another advertisement I read." "Oh, I wouldn't go so far as to say that if I were you." Teddy's voice was gravity itself, although she, too, was bubbling over. "It probably is kiss-proof. I don't think kissing is quite the word for the performance you just staged. To stand up under such punishment as you gave it, my dear, anything would have to be tattooed in, not just put on." "Hey," Hilton protested, "you promised to be deaf and blind." "I did no such thing. I said could, not would. Why, I wouldn't have missed that for anything." When Hilton left the room, he was apparently in every respect his usual self-contained self. However, it was not until the following morning that he so much as thought of the sheaf of papers lying unread in the drawer of Theodora Blake's desk. End of Chapter 6.